welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be discussing interview questions and I'll also be answering some of the questions that I got from you guys. So after posting my videos about coming here, moving here, how to teach here and so on, I got a lot of questions from Instagram, Facebook, and I'm just gonna answer some of those questions. So it will be me telling you some interview questions, typical interview questions that you might get, and then I'll also give you some tips on what you can prepare for your interview, and then I'll answer some of your questions that you've asked me. Okay, let's begin. I'm really hungry, guys, so this is gonna be quick, don't worry. Okay, let me start with the interview questions. Some of the questions that you may typically get. The first one would be, tell us about yourself. I think this question is common whether it's teaching or it's just any other job. So yeah, what they want to know here basically is, so you will just say hi, your name, and how long you've been teaching, your educational background, and then why you're interested on this particular job. You want to sort of prepare this question so that they understand that why you want to do it. So for example, if you have a background that is not in teaching, you would just say you have tutored before, and so like what interests you to go into the world of teaching. Yes, so your educational background, why you want to teach, and where you've taught, which grades, and why you're so excited for this opportunity. Okay, sorry, I have flu, so my voice is all over the place. Okay, question 2, you might get, what grades have you taught? So this is very straightforward. What grades have you taught in the past? If you have not taught in the past, it's advisable to be very honest about that, because you will have to teach where you're going. So you can just say you've never taught before, but you have seen videos and you are more than happy to do a demo lesson for them so that they see your teaching style and so on. So yeah, what grades have you taught? If you've taught different grades, then you can just say which grades you've taught. Sometimes you get a school that is like a high school and you've taught lower grades. So it's important for you to be honest about that too. And then they'll obviously ask, okay, you've taught these grades. Do you think you'll be able to handle upper grades? So you need to be ready for that kind of question. Okay. And then another one, it can be how long you've taught. So again, straightforward. You can just tell them the number of years you've taught and how you found it. So maybe you can say I've taught for 3 years, and in these 3 years I taught these grades and these grades. And it's always important to say more than just 3 years and be quiet, because the whole interview basically is just to see if you can speak properly, if you articulate yourself properly, your English, your accent, and so on. So it's important to just speak, keep them engaged, smile, look at them straight, especially if it's usually a Zoom or a digital interview, a virtual interview. So it's always important to keep smiling, look at the camera, be excited for your moment, and just say more. If you're asked this question, just always prepare more to say. Okay, and then the next one is, what's your teaching style? And this is very important. So here, teaching in Asia is very different from teaching at home, or at least the school that I went to. So I think back home we usually just use traditional methods where the teacher is telling us about the lesson and so on. So my teaching style, for example, I like to I like to engage the students. I like to make sure that it's very interactive. I make sure that there are games involved. I make sure that It can be games, it can be quizzes. I make sure the kids come to the board to write, to practice, to quiz each other. So I make sure to say that this is my teaching style, and so on. So this will obviously differ from your teaching style, what they ask you in the interview question. But it's important to just research what teaching style works this side. I think games, quizzes, and just being interactive with the students. So yeah, prepare for that question as well. And then another one is they would ask you, so this is mostly about discipline, and the question can come in different ways. So one question can come as if there's a student that's problematic or being naughty in class, how do you handle that? Or if the question can just be straightforward, where they ask you, so if there's a student who's not listening to you, who's making noise, who's playing, who's being very disruptive in class, how do you handle that? So it's important again to make sure that you answer it based on your research. What works in Asia may not be what works back home. Obviously, kids nowadays, you can't hit them, you can't scream at them. So you need to come with a method that's going to work. I usually use a point system. So, when we start the semester, we have certain points. So the more you become naughty in class, you are losing points. And also I work on just celebrating progress, or celebrating the students that listen to me. So I'll give them candy, or I'll just give them a star in their books to just show that they are being good students. So obviously that will that will influence the others to listen and be like, okay, I want that candy. I don't know, let me be good. Sometimes I do make a student stand up for a few minutes so that they can listen and pay attention, or I make them read for us. So yeah, you can come up with various different ways in which that you can use to discipline, or to just make sure that the class is managed properly. Yes, also the question can come as, what's your class management style, or how do you manage a class? Because kids can be naughty, kids can try you, so you need to be ready for that kind of question. And there are many there's a lot of information. My flu, guys, I'm struggling here, I'm fighting for my life. There are many ways that you can answer this question, and there's a lot of information out there for you to just research how you can manage a class. And there are many YouTube videos that can tell you more about that, and then you can just design your own based on that, or you can borrow mine, that's fine. Okay, and then I once got this question. Actually, I had an interview to go teach in China, and there are politics involved between China and Taiwan. So I got an interview question based on that. I was basically asked, where do I stand in terms of the conflict? If you want to know about the conflict, you can go ahead and just type in Taiwan-China conflict, and then you'll know about it. So I was asked this question in an interview, which is very political, and I just remain neutral. And that's very true. I am neutral about the situation because I'm just a teacher. I'm just an expert. I can't be involving myself in that kind of stuff. And I also think they are just testing in class, because they asked me, what if a student asks you about this? And I'm like, I'm just gonna be neutral. I'm gonna tell the student, look, I am neutral. I really cannot be part of that. I cannot comment on that. And so yeah, just make sure to stay away from politics. Okay. Sorry. So also, if it's an international school, they usually have a curriculum called IB or IGCE. So they might ask you, have you taught IB before? Are you aware of IGCE, SE? And you shouldn't lie. If you don't know, you don't know. But it's important to obviously read the job description, and then if there's something you don't understand, just go on the internet, type in there, get some information. So in the interview, you look prepared. So you just tell them, hey, I'm not sure, but I did some research and this is what I found. So it's important to just keep it honest, keep it standard. Okay. And they can also ask you, how do you prepare for a lesson? So you can just say, I plan my work and I make sure that, like for example, a lesson plan, if you have 40 minutes to teach, you know, for the first 5 minutes you warm up, for the next whatever minutes this is what you do. So you can just say how you prepare for it, how you make sure you're ready, so that you're not all over the place. If there's worksheets that you need to print out, they are always ready before time, and so on and so on. If you need me to go into details about this, please feel free to ask me, because people have been asking me, people have been inboxing me, and I'm free to just answer you guys. I might be busy sometimes and the time zone can be an issue, but I always get back to a person who's asking me a question. Okay, so yeah, I'm done. I think those are the questions I've ever been asked. They don't necessarily ask difficult questions, they ask questions that will let them know more about you. And some tips that I can give you: obviously the first thing, you need to wear formal. You need to treat it as any other interview. You need to be formal dressed, you need to be ready. If you have to put your makeup on, girl, you need to just look the part, right? And because, you know, first impressions last, what they see, they are there to judge. So be ready. And the next thing is to always smile, always be bubbly. So yeah, because they want to see the kids, what type of teacher the kids will be dealing with. So you don't want to be grumpy the whole time, or you don't want to be, and sometimes your face is like that, it's like serious, but you don't want to be that serious because you will be dealing with kids. So you want to keep it happy face. Be ready. My flu is killing me, but we are almost done. Also, another tip, at the end of the interview they might say ask questions, meaning them. So make sure you do ask questions. Don't just be like, I'm good. You need to ask questions. So you can ask questions about the teaching method they prefer, what grade you'll be teaching, or what grade the learners are. You can also ask about the co-teacher that will be with you in class, or the homeroom teacher that will be with you in class, how they work together with you, because some schools have a co-teacher that you teach with. So yeah, ask them what's the role of that co-teacher and how you guys can work well together. So yeah, that brings me to the end of this video. I do have some Q&A from you guys, but I think I should just make a separate video for that, because it's gonna make this video long. But yeah, that brings me to the end of our video. I will make sure to do a follow-up video for you guys with the Q&A and answer all the questions that have been asked to me. So yeah, enjoy your day. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you for joining me. He always been faking me out. He always been faking me out. Put your picture on my mirror. Start to blush when somebody says your name.